Welcome to Decker Tech. I'm Aaron Decker, and today I'm just going to do kind of a recap for one of the drafts I just did. So, we went 7-1. I did this over a couple days, so I don't remember what the one loss was, unfortunately. So I can't tell you what that is. I can tell you what kind of the deck played out. So we did rare draft. So I picked up every single rare I could. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rares because discontinuity I think is my own one. I have 5 rares and or mythics. Here, I can switch this to the other view. And so what the goal of the deck is, like I think first pick was discontinuity, but you don't need to be drawn into your first pick. Like I don't need to be in blue because of my first pick. The reason I'm in blue is because of this Watcher of the Spheres and the Mistral Singers. So what you did is as you draft, make sure you always prioritize removal. So secure the scene. This is what kept me white. Like I almost went mono blue, but my best removal was white. I also had removal I picked up shock real early because I was thinking about maybe going Is It or white red, like some 2-color pairing within Jeskai. Because I had shock as removal, I had secure the scene as removal, and I had like a singer or an elder. Like these aren't my favorite elders and singers. Like they don't meet the vanilla test. So this is a 2-mana 1/2, no bueno. This is a 3-mana 2/2, no bueno. But prowess is a legit, reliable mechanic as long as you have cantrips, things that are replacing themselves, not things that just do nothing. Like so, I have removal in Silent Dart. It is a non-creature spell that is removal. Like it triggers prowess. It's cost only 1, so I can successfully pump my team before combat, so I can have a safe swing in. Ops. They replace themselves, they have a little bit of filtering, and it's a 1-mana pump my team. So unfortunately, even though these don't pass the vanilla test, I have reliable ways to pump them back up to vanilla, so they are playable creatures. And I also, since some of these are instants, the Defiant Strike and the Opt, they can be used as combat tricks. So the way that this Azorius deck is trying to do the aggro, like, so normally I say we want like 8 2-cost, 2-power creatures, and like 4 or 5 battle tactics to pump them during combat. The way this deck gets around that is it plays its creatures a little later, but makes sure they're as evasive as possible, like these flyers. I have a lot of flyers. And then my cantrips to trigger prowess, I want as many of them to be instant speed as possible so that I can have some combat tricks, so to speak. Frost Breath is also nice, just stay alive a couple turns. You do this on their turn before they attack, and suddenly you've locked down their creatures for 2 turns. Celestial Force is just another, so I have a bunch of these little filler cards that just help me stay alive. Like, cancel is removal, but you have to be ahead to have it any good. If you're behind, you can't hold up mana for cancel. If you're ahead, you can hold up mana for cancel. So you have to make sure you get ahead before you get counterspells. Cancel and rewind. I don't think I ever played rewind. I got it milled once. That's the only time I saw it. Enthralling Hold is removal. It's only removal after their creature has attacked or you've tapped it down some way. So the biggest thing is play around the removal you can find. The best removal I found was Secure the Scene, so I went white. I found Watcher of the Spheres. It was my only 2-mana 2/2. Like everything else here, I've got a 2-mana 1/2, like no bueno. I've got 3-mana 2/2. People weren't passing any, or like in the first pack and a half, I was not finding any 2-mana 2/2 creatures, so I was just getting these singers. Like you got to make sure you have some creatures to kill them with, and then some removal to survive with, so or to get past their things with. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about the deck. Or the drafting phase. Here's the final deck. The discontinuity, I never got to use it. Like, there was one game, maybe I did use this one game to live. It was very interesting. I used it. No, I didn't use it. I didn't use it on their turn. I used it on my turn. They went to go remove my big baddie, and I didn't have any answer to it, so I just ended my turn. Said, nope, you don't get to remove it. So I had it for next turn. So I didn't get a combat that turn, but I at least kept my creature, so it was protect my creature for 2 mana. Oh, I think there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I say 6? 7? 3, 4. There's a way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I found 7 mythics and rares. So that was nice. And I still went 7-0, and the biggest reason is because you just understand that you have to get out at turn 2. You have to have some sort of threat. You got to make sure that you have a saturation of 2 mana spells. Like me, I unfortunately only had 1, 2, 3, 4 that could be threats. This Riddle form is risky. But I had a lot of cantripping beforehand, so I could kind of get there. And then I had backups in my 3 mana slot. So I had to get out a threat early. It did take there were a couple of games where I had to be very anti-aggressive to kind of catch up and then clear their board, and then I could start swinging and racing. Other games it's just race as soon as possible because I have flyers and they don't. So anyway, I don't know if you have any questions about the draft and how we got to, was it 7-1 with this deck? Please let me know. And as you can see, there's a couple cards here like this is not playable. It's a 3 mana 2/3. Like unless I'm actually playing this Teferi's Aegis Insight, which you shouldn't play, unless you're playing this is no good. It's a 3 mana 2/3. It doesn't do anything. Like it's a card filter, but you have to spend 2 mana to do it. Like I'd rather run Thrill of Possibilities than Teferi's Prodigy, and I thought I had a Thrill of Possibilities, but like I don't want to run that. Animal Sanctuary, only good if you have lots of cats and dogs, and even then it's kind of risky because it's colorless. Rada would definitely have been one to play. This is Acceleration. It's a 3 mana 3/3 first strike. Like all your creatures need to be vanilla. They need to be a 3 mana 3/3, a 4 mana 4/4. You need to be that or stronger. Power is more important than toughness in Limited. This guy, I almost played him because he is a 2 mana 2/1, and thinking back on it, maybe I should have played him instead Riddle form, but I was just so low on win conditions and flyers that I decided to go with the Riddle form instead. Probably should have ran him instead of Lofty Denial. I don't think I ever used Lofty Denial, so if I was to change anything, I would bring in the Keen Glide Master and take out the Lofty Denial. But it seemed like a fun one to try out, and I have plenty of flyers. So, but it was dead several times, and I had to loot it away with my Jeskai Elder. So the King Glide Master, it could have traded for some creatures earlier. Like that's all. Like even if you're not being aggressive with your 2 mana 2 power creatures, they at least trade for their two power creatures. Their 2 cost creatures, or sometimes they're 3 cost creatures if you can set it up right. Other things that aren't playable. 4 mana 3/3, just not playable. Not a creature, not removal. Everything should be a creature or removal in Limited. Like, as you can tell, everything down here is a creature or removal, or in my case, some cantrips. But they replace themselves. So the biggest thing about Limited is card advantage, card parity, always making sure that one of my cards trades for one of their cards. And I would always recommend going to 16 lands or less. Do not go to 17 lands. By less, I mean 16 or 15. Do not go less than 15 lands. Anyway, that's enough. At this point, I'm just going to start babbling. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time. Peace.